ShidoLionheart is a 3D artist, graphic designer, and RPG enjoyer, hence why he designed RPG Maker presets. Today we are watching some highlights of the first episode of a complete classic Archer playthrough of Shining Soul 2 by him.
Shining Soul 2 per Game Boy Advance.
After reading the description of the different classes, it says for the Archer, choosing Orange and Shido as his name.
Ovviamente mi chiamerò Shido.
He has the habit of reading the message text of the game, and even as a non-Italian speaker, I can understand that his voice acting has attention and is pretty cool.
Salve, io sono Boken, un avventuriero. Qual è il tuo nome? Shido, è un piacere di conoscerti. Ho sentito dire che il re ha organizzato un torneo. Cosa? Davvero? Shido, tu vuoi partecipare? Ma scherzi? Io sono impegnato in un'avventura adesso, ma qui... Ah, è ancora qui!
During the first battle, he says that the slime won't attack back, which indicates that he has prior experience with the game.
Woohoo!
For the first level up, he put all status points into strength and with the skill point into range. I think this is the optimal choice. He notes that the intro is pretty long,
Wow, e finalmente si gioca dopo un'intro abbastanza longhetta.
which I perfectly agree with. After that, he takes a short tour of the castle to talk to some NPCs and comment that there is a lot to do, but not too much available at the moment. It's true that after a while the game really opens up, but you're supposed to do the first dungeon before anything. A short trick to use the Faith Fire to improve a bit of fire race, and gives a tip that it can go up to about 20. Takes multiple minutes, so just settle for about 6 or to 8 and to the Goblin Force.
Fortezza Goblin.
He notes that he prefer the bows, like pretty much everybody, I think, and a long range attack. Luckily, because I'm gonna play the Archer. He wanted to have a character that can regenerate. Now that's an interesting point because having some points of healing up at least to level 1 or 2 is very valuable. On the long run it will save you a lot of healing items. After that he tries to roll act.
Fare al 100% il gioco. Se non sbaglio non posso attaccare. No. Però posso usare questo.
Here's a clip for me proving that unfortunately the Archer cannot do that. Seems like he prefers magic classes, but said at the beginning is slow because you have to wait 4 SP to regenerate. A good counter argument to that, since you will have related to some strength to equip some better gear, you can start off going as an hybrid build.
Free XP!
He makes the comment that seemingly the spear doesn't have an auto aim like the bow. Well, in fact the spear does have auto aim, but it's less visible than the bow. For me, I picture the bow as the long-range weapon and the spear as a middle-range weapon. He tells that the points that will be focused on healing and range.
Principalmente mi occuperò della guarigione un pochino e assolutamente della gittata.
Well, being focused on range is always what you want to do. That's the main selling point on the Archer anyway. He needs to augment his dexterity because he missed some shots. Now it's also because the Archer seems to have a lower accuracy when he's very close to the enemy.
Perfetto. Ok, vai.
They also say that he will go for 100% completion. This is a good moment to remember you of retro achievements. But as for Shido, I don't know if he arguably achieved 100%, but what we can just get from the playlist thumbnails is that you unlock and raided every dungeon, except maybe for the unknown derelict that I don't see on the playlist.
Wow, quanti goblin!
He tries to use the force ring against 2 hobgoblins. It doesn't work too well. The SP consumption is just too high.
Attacchiamo! Ok, no. No. Utilizziamo l'erba. No, mi hanno circondato. Mi rifiuto di perdere. Sono anche aumentato di livello, ma mi rifiuto di perdere. No.
Well, that can happen to anyone, if we're being honest. He points out that he rushed into combat with a funny quote.
Sparato come un missile ultrasonico di Iron Man.
Saying that per habit to use magical classes, the archer requires to be more careful. I perfectly agree with that, because the archer is the really only class when you need to be long range and distance yourself from the enemy. The spellcaster actually loves to be to middle from even close proximity to the enemies, to be able to fire efficiently the spell at multiple enemies at the same time. He further explained that the spellcasters play differently to physical classes because they attack multiple enemies at once. In fact, all physical classes in some form have access to AoE damage. The archer, for example, if you use the spear charge attack, he has access to AoE. He is more accustomed to play the dark wizard with dagger dance, and I sure would like to play through. Hehe. Before the boss, he put points into strength and dex, especially since he had the +4 dex clock. I wouldn't have put dex. That's an argument I've made multiple times already, but dex is only really good to a certain amount, and increasing it past this amount serves no purpose. The boss is going swiftly since the archer can take him from distance when he's doing these two patterns of attack, and healing skill is filling up the few HP loss. By the way, since he asked in the video, Gobovich has 600 HP. To conclude this episode, talking to Mama Colita to unlock the well, and a bit of shopping. Some better gear, but nothing too noticeable, and last tip, let your gold bag in the bank. This way you won't lose as much when you get defeated. Then finally getting ranged level 2 and investing status points. This first episode is the longest of the playthrough because the intro is so long. The fact that this playlist includes pretty much all dungeon, except maybe again for the unknown derelict, but maybe he did it, I just don't see it in the thumbnails, seems very promising. Let me know what you think of this playthrough, and thank you Shido again for allowing me to comment on this playthrough.